Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Football United TV. And to all you bullies out there, welcome back to FU TV, pretty much, mate. I do that for Pundit, mate. How are you doing, mate? Welcome in Unofficial Pundit once again. Nice to have you back, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, thanks for having me back, mate. I've been doing all right. It's obviously Man United always helps the mood, doesn't it? It helps set the mood, and it's been a lot better.
We were talking, weren't we, mate? Recently, our defence has been amazing. The amount of goals we've not let in. I think one or two in the last 6 or 7 games, if that.
One goal in the last 7 games, yeah.
What was you making of that game last night against Milan, Pundit? Good result going away to Milan. It's a hard place to go and get a result at the San Siro, no matter what Milan team you're playing. What did you make of it in your own view?
I just felt it was Milan looked like they had more energy than us, and I think that's probably right. They've fallen off in their league. I don't think they're in any cups at the moment, other than Europa League now. And they've probably got a bigger squad, in the sense of not as many little kids as we've got. Don't have to bring so many youth through, and probably haven't had as. I know they've got some injuries at the moment, but probably haven't had as many injuries as we have over the last month or two. We've had Pogba's been out for 6 weeks, 7 weeks. Donny van der Beek's been out, so it's roughly had to be the same midfield every single game. Recently, we've had Cavani out, Rashford out, Martial out, so there hasn't been able to be much movement there either. And I think over this period, not just the Milan game, but over the last 7 games, it's a real credit to our defence because they haven't really been able to rotate. And boy, have they been good. They've been really, really good and solid. The goal we let in against Milan in the first leg was very unfortunate. I felt sorry for Henderson. He got loads of stick after it. I didn't think he deserved that. The goal we let in was soft. It was so late. But that to be the only goal we've let in 7 games when we've had injuries, and that just shows how good the defence have been and how good our captain has been in organising his team and pulling them through these games where we haven't had much firepower and haven't been able to go for the kill. And for me, that's a huge, huge positive. I think the Big Titans become a stable back four now. And you see the difference. In the first Milan game, let's not forget Luke Shaw didn't start. And what an outlet he is for everything. Not only is he unbelievable at defending, he's so solid in defence now.
Yeah.
He's probably our best creative player at the moment. I don't care if anyone gives me stick for that. He was brilliant yesterday going forward. Look how many times he got forward. Look at one point when he got into the box and tried to cut it back. But there was not one of our players in the box. Imagine your left back from literally your centre back playing the ball has overlapped everyone and no one's followed this run. And it's something Luke Shaw's doing all the time now. It's another brilliant game from Luke Shaw. He could have been one of the people that was up for man of the match, let's be honest. And it wasn't even his best game. I've seen better games from him in recent weeks. And that just shows how vital he is to the team. And he wasn't playing the first Milan game. It was Tellez. It was a huge difference. There was a huge, huge difference in the 2 games.
Do you think, Pundit, mate, just to go on the left-back thing there, do you think having Tellez in has helped improve Luke Shaw on his game? Do you think that's competition or...?
No, I think it's a load of garbage. I know people said it. People tried to say it about when Shaw came back from an injury after Brendan Williams came in. First of all, fans were saying that Luke Shaw shouldn't be back in the team. Now they're saying fans hate Brendan Williams for some reason. They tried to say that Brendan Williams made Luke Shaw a better player. Then Tellez came in and everyone said Shaw was done. That was it. Tellez was going to be unbelievable. Have you seen him playing Porto? And I just thought to myself, do you know what? None of you actually watched him play because everyone I saw tweet about him. No one ever tweeted a video of his defending. No one ever tweeted a video about his defensive stats. It was all about the penalties he had scored and the assists he had got. And every clip I saw on Twitter was of him going forward. I thought, that's the Portuguese league. Couldn't give a shit how you go forward. If you can't defend, when you come to the Premier League, you're going to be in trouble. And I think we've seen that. And I said it recently on somebody else's show, it might have even been the FTB show, was he could have pushed Luke Shaw for a month or two, maybe. You can't push him for a whole season. He's not replacing Luke Shaw now. And you can push someone so they might be 10% better. Luke Shaw's 100% better. That's how good he's gone. He's gone from the most hated left back in England to the best left back in the world.
Agreed.
And nobody at me, because there's no one out there. Jordi Alba's old. Ferland Mendy from Real Madrid is shit. PSG haven't got a good left back. Who else? Bayern Munich. Alphonso Davies was a young kid coming through, but he hasn't even been playing. I'm not hearing about that Hernandez at Bayern. Who else is there? Juve. Alexandro shit. Andrew Robertson hasn't been as good this season. Chilwell don't make me laugh. Like, there's so many you can go through. So for me, Luke Shaw at the moment is the best left back in the world. And Tellez this competition can't make Luke Shaw go from the most hated left back in England to the best left back in the world. No.
Yeah,
you can push someone a little bit more. That's like saying go and get Sancho in. Daniel James is going to become the best right winger for Man United in the world. No. You can maybe push him an extra 10%. And James can maybe learn from Sancho, but it's not going to push him that much. I think they're just seeing it with Luke Shaw now because he hasn't been injured. When you're consistently getting injured, it's hard to show the fans.
We had that leg break. Didn't he?
Yeah, he had the leg break.
That must be very hard to come back to and bounce back and being that player that Man United bought him originally. You know, saying that he was the best left back in probably the league at the time, wasn't he? Or
yeah,
near enough.
He was a very good young talent, very very good young talent. And Manchester United brought him in. Obviously, had that leg break as such a young kid. Could have lost his leg, and then he's been after that. Even had terrible manager come in Jose. Been plagued with injury, and then to absolutely destroy your confidence and probably made him feel like he didn't want to be at United anymore. Was when Jose Mourinho said it was Shaw's body and my brain. That's like saying your fullback's brainless. That has got to be the worst criticism your manager can give you. And now you see Ole. Now you see Ole, and look how good Shaw is because he's got that confidence on the manager. He's not getting injured all the time, and now he can play. So when you play consistently, you get better. You get in, and your confidence grows, and that's what we've seen with Shaw. His confidence has grown. The talent was always there. The confidence has grown, and now you're seeing. Like, did you see in what game? West Ham game, in the 87th minute when he does that little spin and turn and goes past the player, like this is right deep in the corner, and they're just thinking, "Wow, your confidence is on it's at 1-0." I've seen players do this at 4-1, 5-1. They're doing things like that, and fans go crazy. Oh wow, I see what he did. This is at 1-0. You make a mistake here, but he's not scared of making a mistake because he knows his own ability now. And it just shows the job that Ole's doing for me. The centre backs have been abused consistently. Let's be honest. Ole's stuck with them, and it's starting to show now how good they've been. Fans were moaning they want buy-in. Bailly keeps getting injured. Ole can't rely on Bailly. So stop calling for Bailly and saying if he was injury-free, he'd be the best centre-back at the club. Yeah, and if my auntie had balls, she'd be my uncle. That's if. There's a load of ifs. Unfortunately, Bailly's injured, and we have to go with the players. Lindelof, have you seen Lindelof's injury record? I don't even think he's missed 2 months at Man United. If you add all the days together, I literally don't think he's missed 2 months. That's somebody you want to build on with Harry Maguire, who plays literally every game. That's a partnership you want to build on because you know you can rely on them and they'll be there. You don't break that partnership for a man who's going to be injured after playing every 3 games. He's going to be injured for 2 months, and it's unfortunate because Bailly has some very good attributes. So yeah, there with Ole. You've seen it with AWB. Even when AWB was getting criticism, Ole stuck with him, and we know how good AWB is. There's loads of improvements with Ole, and then you get the idiots that turn around and say that they can't see any difference from our football and Ole's football and Jose's football. Well, one team beat AC Milan at the San Siro. The other team lost to Dynamo Zagreb after being 2-0 up in the first leg. Tell you everything I need to know.
I think, isn't it Dynamo Zagreb's manager in jail as well?
He's in prison, yeah. So Mourinho got outdone by a manager who's in prison. And for me, the way I look at it is people said that, I tweeted it today, People said that Jose couldn't work with Rashford and Martial because they were too young. He needs experienced players. Well, now he's got Kane and Son, and it's still not working. 10 games into the season, everyone, Jose's back. Now he's got a proper team. He's got a proper midfield. He's got a proper attack. Now he's back. Like, you're going to see the difference. They're sitting 8th. They're out of the Europa League. They're out of the FA Cup as well, aren't they? Yep. So they're out of those two. And had they not got Brentford in the semi-final, they would have been out of the Carabao Cup. And I'm sorry, that team that just got beat by Dynamo Zagreb, I can't see how they beat City. I honestly can't see how they beat City. And that'll just be... Don't get me wrong, I want them to beat City, funny enough, even though I hate Jose. I want them because I hate City more than I hate Spurs.
Interesting.
But I just can't see it. It just shows how they've gone backwards. Where we've gone forward. We're playing the quarterfinal on Sunday against Leicester, which could put us into another semi-final. We've got Granada now in the Europa League, which, let's be honest, over 2 legs, that should be an absolute walk in the park. So we should be in the semi-final of the Europa League, and we're sitting second in the Premier League, and we're only behind a City team that's gone on a really, really good run because they have such a huge squad. They literally have 2 players for every single position.
Yeah.
And that's what Sir Alex used to have and used to dominate the league. When you have that, you're going to dominate the league. You are. That's my honest opinion.
What do you think of Paul Pogba getting man of the match last night, mate? I don't agree that he should have been given it. Look, it was a terrific goal. Like, don't get me wrong, I support my team and I support my players, but I don't feel like he was the best person on the field whatsoever. Like, would you agree with that?
Can I come back to that? I really like this comment. I just want to address this comment.
Oh, yeah.
Quickly.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Shouts out to everybody. Well, Daniel, Charlie, Rowan, Talkemu, thank you for coming in. Rowan says, when team wins, fans just say individual brilliant, and when team loses, they blame Ole. What was you going to say about that?
It's so true. He's absolutely spot on here. I talked to Ryan quite a bit on Twitter, and it's absolutely spot on. You can't keep blaming Ole. At the end of the day, those players have to go out there and do a job as well. Ole's not on the pitch. And I've said this now. If we don't win the Europa League, look at the teams that are in the Europa League, barring loads of injuries, because we're still going to fight to the last day of the season for top 4 or for second place. We want second place now. We're not happy with just getting 4th. So we're going to fight for that to the last day of the season. Because it's so tight and so close. And then you've got, obviously, the FA Cup, which I'm expecting us to go through in. Barring any bad injuries, I can't see how we don't win the Europa League. I really don't. I can't see how we don't win it. And for me, that won't be down to Ole. That'll be down to the players. I think it's frozen. Oh, what's going on here? I don't know if I'm running solo here, boys, but if anyone's still watching, for me, I believe if we don't win the Europa League now, it's down to the players. Barring loads of injuries, if we've got a team relatively fit, I can't put this on Ole. I really can't.
Sorry about that. My internet shut me out.
Yeah,
you carrying on.
Yeah. But I was just saying that, barring a load of injuries, because we're going to have to play in the Premier League. We're going to have to play to the last day of the season. Let's be honest. Fight every game because we want second now. Ole's not going to want to settle for 3rd or 4th. For me, I feel like top 4's done after the weekend we just had. Because Everton lost, Spurs lost, and then we beat West Ham. But we're still going to want second. So we're going to have to fight there. And then I'm hoping we go through against Leicester. So there's still going to be a lot of games to play for. Players are going to be tired. If we have most of our team fit, if we don't win the Europa League, I put it down to the players. I don't put it down to Ole. And that's my honest truth. I do not put it down to Ole. These boys have played with each other for long enough now, relatively the same team over the last 2 seasons, that they should know how to go out and beat Granada, Ajax or Roma, and either Arsenal or Villarreal or one of the other 2 teams. I'm sorry, they should know how to beat them when they go out there on the pitch. There should be enough class within these players. And sometimes you have to go out there and not be a boy. You have to be a man. And a man doesn't need his manager to guide him through a game. Well, you heard Roy Keane say it, that even from 7, 8 years old, he didn't need his manager to get him up, like, ready for a game. Hey, and when you're playing for Manchester United, if you can't get read up for these games yourself, and you need the manager to do that for you, then I'm sorry, you shouldn't be at Manchester United, and you're just stealing a living.
Yeah, that's the problem, innit? And I think Roy Keane says it as well. Everyone's like, oh, it's not so daunting going to a stadium without fans. And it's sort of like you're playing at Old Trafford, whether there's fans or not. You should feel that, like, that drive to, like, this is an amazing club, and your drive should be to do better for the team, like, no matter what, and for yourself, like individual talent, of course. Like, you want to be one of the best players in the world, but you want to do good for your team. I just don't get it, mate. If I like this, if I was wearing the old school Man United shirt, mate, back in the 90s, and they give me a spot in the team, I'd die for that position.
Of course, and this is what I mean. And I even see it yesterday when Bruno played that sloppy pass and straight to the Milan player, and he had a counter attack, and we done well. Lindelof done what really was to defend it. Now someone should be going mad, because that pass is a terrible pass. I don't care how good he's done, how many goals he's got and all that. Someone should be going mad at him. And I would say exactly the same if that was Marcus Rashford done the same thing. You can't be that sloppy and put your defence. Now, this is where Harry Maguire should have gone absolutely apeshit at him for playing this pass. I'm sorry. Because you put them under pressure and they can see the goal now. Believe me, Bruno ain't getting the brunt of the stick, ain't getting the stick for it on social media. A couple of people might, that was Bruno's fault. But most people are going to blame it on Lindelof and Maguire for not defending it. But he's put them in trouble. And I saw it yesterday. I see people blaming McTominay and Fred in the first half. I see people calling for James's head. And I thought to myself, hold up. You fans talk about not criticising the players, but then you criticise the ones you want to. I won't criticise others. When really the weak link yesterday in the team was Bruno Fernandes. He had a terrible game. I'm sorry, he did not look good at all. He was terrible. He had like a 55% pass accuracy in the first half. That means half of his passes were going straight. He lost possession 18 times in the first half. 18 times. Again, we're not playing against the prime AC Milan. This is a very average AC Milan team.
Yeah, their best player is probably a 39-year-old striker, isn't it?
Yeah, like crazy. And then going on to Paul Pogba, I think that was a joke as well. Him getting man of the match. Yeah, he scored the goal, but I don't think he deserved man of the match. Nowhere near. No. He was decent when he come on. He added something different.
Did you say Lindelof for the man of the match, or did you say?
I thought Lindelof should be man of the match. I thought Fred was fantastic in the second half as well. Yeah, Fred would have definitely got the vote for me over Pogba as well. Yeah. I thought, Lindelof, I thought it was man of the match for me. I thought the blocks he did, I just don't think he put a foot wrong. And then even when Zlatan come on, he won the couple of balls that were played up towards them. He dealt with them well and won a header against him and that. And Lindelof looks like he's got tougher.
Yeah.
But I don't know if the coach have been working with him recently, but it looks like he wants it a little bit more rather than shies away from it and can be bullied. And that to me was impressive. And I thought, had we conceded a goal, the defence would have got stick for it. Well, guess what? We won 1-0 and Milan didn't have much. Well, then the defence should get praised for it. So, yeah, for me, Lindelof was man of the match. And I can see Rowan there. Lindelof was man of the match for him as well. I'm sorry. I don't know how Paul Pogba got it. He scored a good goal. It was scrappy, but his finish was brilliant.
Do you think it's just that? It's just that, like, you're playing FIFA, aren't you? Your goal scorer, 9 times out of 10 always gets it, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, they're not even on for a long time.
It's just one of them things at the moment. United fans, there's so many that just love Paul Pogba because he has a few little silky tricks. For me, it's not enough. I'm sorry, for somebody who gets 290k a week.
He goes to France this week, doesn't he? So he'll probably come out again and say that he's leaving the club, and
there'll definitely be because they listen. The reporters love to ask him these questions because he loves to give an answer.
Yeah.
If twice or 3 times they try, you turn around and go, "I'm happy at Manchester United." Left it there. They'll stop asking him. But you're going to ask him because you know he loves to be in the limelight. He'll give them an answer, and they can print about it, and then Twitter, social, Instagram, all that, and all the news channels will go into meltdown about it, and it will just That will be the main talking points. And for Pogba and his brand, that's brilliant because that means he's all over the news, all over social media. So I look at it like this: Fabrizio Romano doesn't get things wrong, and he said Pogba's 100% leaving in the summer. Only way I don't see, there's been no contract talks. That's all gone away. No one's to even mention the new contract. That should tell you, that should give you some signal there, what's going on. And for me, if he doesn't leave in the summer, that's because nobody was willing to pay the money for him.
Would you do a swap with Ronaldo? I'm hearing that rumor. I'm just hearing it. Would you do it?
No, that for me,
just to get rid of him.
that just, even though I think he needs to leave, if we go and do that, I will know exactly where Manchester United are headed. I'll still support the club. I always will. I've said it. If they get relegated, I said they could be in the conference, and I'll still support Manchester United. Absolutely. If they're in the conference, I'll probably try to get a lot of people together, myself, some investors together, and try to buy the club and build them up from the ground upwards again. But yeah, no, not for me. Ronaldo's done now. And please pick no one at me with his goal scoring stats in it. And no one gives a shit. He's gone. Juve won the league, I think, 8 or 9 years on the trot. He's gone there. They're not going to win the league this season. And the main reason he went Juve, if anyone knows anything about football, Ronaldo likes to break records. He's broke quite a few in his career. Me saying that he's done now doesn't mean I'm saying he's shit. This is where people are thick. And you say it on Twitter and you get people coming at you and like, no, I won't say he's shit, but he's finished. Ronaldinho wasn't shit, but he's finished. Like when players are finished, they're finished. I'm sorry. If anyone knows anything about football, they know he went to Juventus to equal current sales record of winning the Champions League with 3 different clubs. And I'm sorry, you failed miserably.
He's failed.
He's failed miserably. He got knocked out by Porto, who another thing isn't good for him because he's a Sporting Lisbon boy. And Juve are not winning the league this season. So this season, you might win the cup. You've done really poor. What a poor season. And if we take him back at United, for me, that's just money. Because everyone's going to rush out and buy a Ronaldo shirt for the nostalgia, and there you go. And it's the same thing with signing someone like Zlatan, who can only play 1 season, or signing someone like Cavani, who's apparently going to be gone in the summer. And he's how many games has he played for us? He's injured more than he plays. It's not someone that we're meant to be building for the future, not just going and getting a stopgap that might help us. Even if he came in and helped us win the league, he then goes in the summer. You have to try and replace him. You end up buying some shit player that don't replace him, and you fall off again, and it all starts all over again. No, we're progressing. Getting rid of Pogba to bring in Ronaldo, who's gonna want the team to play around him as well. No, that Ronaldo ship sailed. I don't see it happening anyway.
What do you think of Ahmad, mate, coming into the outfit, mate? Had that brilliant headed backwards goal.
If I'm honest with you, I'm hoping he gets a loan out.
You want to see him get more game time for
he's not going to get that for us, and he's never played 90 minutes professionally at the any top level. He never played 90 minutes for Atalanta. He's not going to play 90 minutes anytime soon for United, I don't think, unless if we hit 5 or 6 past Granada, have a great game in the second leg. Ole might start him, but other than that, he's not going to. I'd love to see him go out to a good club, a club that's going to guarantee. That's why we're loaning him there. Is going to guarantee he's going to be playing week in, week out, unless he doesn't do well. Obviously, after 10 games, if he's not doing well, they're not going to keep playing him. But a club that's going to play him week in, week out, and then you can get to see a bit of him because the only way a player of his age develops is playing week in, week out, and he's not going to play week in, week out for Manchester United. It's not going to happen. He's too young and has not played at that level. When I've seen him play, he scored that lovely little header, great little header. Yeah. But I haven't seen him do anything when he has played. I haven't seen him do anything where I think, oh God, wow.
Yeah.
We're in for something here. I'm sorry, I haven't.
I think that could be there, but I just think that maybe for Man United doing it right now isn't going to be the place, is it? It's like Garner going out to the Championship. It looks good, he's getting game time. I know it's a league below, but I mean, you've got to do that. You got to give him game time no matter where it is, really.
The league below isn't bad either because it's a tough league. It's a lot rougher than our league, and it's a lot tougher. So it's not a bad league to send some young players to toughen up and play week in, week out. And you will know in a couple of seasons if Garner was good enough because he'll play at Manchester United. And if he wasn't, he won't be there. And then you just won't hear about him again. And it'll be like a lot of other players that have left United. And then all of a sudden they're playing against United when they're about 32 for a team that's been promoted. And they're playing against United and it's one of our old boys. And it's happened loads. But yeah, listen, he's apparently a really good young talent. And I'm hoping in the future we're going to see a lot of him. But I think we've got so many youngsters like Greenwood. James still isn't old. Rashford's young. Martial's nowhere near his peak. And if we're going to add Sancho to that as well, I think we've got enough young players that we could let Ahmad go out on loan and let him play a bit, like play week in, week out.
Maybe back to Atalanta, maybe seen as, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe
of course. They never gave him a chance since. I don't know if they're going to give him a chance now. But listen, if they wanted him and said they'll play him, yeah, then why not? Because that means he'll be playing week in, week out. I'd prefer him to go to somewhere like the Championship or Germany, a league that's played a bit more like the Premier League, a bit the same tempo, where like Italy's a totally different league. And I think you've seen that with Paul Pogba when he came to Manchester United. Again, there's a huge difference of playing for Juve, who win the league every year, and you're playing with Vidal and Pirlo, Vidal's gonna be the muscle, and Pirlo's gonna boss the midfield, regardless of who's next to him. And then coming to United that weren't in the best shape, and it's hard. Listen, a lot of people don't realise how hard the Premier League is, and if anyone who questions it, go listen to what Timo Werner has just said about defenders in the Premier League. He can't believe how big and strong they all are. That just tells you. He's had a reality check. Now, do you remember how much he was loved when he was in Germany last season? Some people used to talk about everyone is linked with every club, apparently. And
even linked here, winning.
What? Yeah. No, everyone
sometime in the past, yeah. I'm not sure if it was last summer.
Everyone gets linked to United. Everyone's been linked to United.
That's true. Yeah.
I think Schneider still gets linked to us. I'm pretty sure he's basically retired now. Do you remember every summer we were signing Wesley Schneider?
Mate. I was so horrible, mate. And I was like, and then he goes to Galatasaray, wasn't it?
Yeah. Because he was, but he was finished, weren't it? And we were still getting linked to him. And the sad thing is, I wanted him. The time I saw them beat Scotland, I think it was 6-0, 5 or 6-0, and he was instrumental in everything. And he was young. I think he was only about 20 years of age, and I wanted him for United then. I thought he would be that player that would slowly come in for Scholesy. And we never did. We never did sign him. And then a couple of times was linked to him. And yeah, of course, just like everyone else, I got my hopes up. I was all excited. It never happened. And by the third time, I just knew it wasn't happening. I wasn't even interested. I didn't even used to read about it anymore. It was done. For me, he'd got to that age now, 30 plus, I knew it was over. And I think they're still going to be doing that with Ronaldo. I think Ronaldo will probably retire. You still hear it. Oh, Ronaldo could be coming out of retirement this summer to help United for that one last push. Right?
We were looking for Schneider, mate, and then we got Schneider. Is it Schneiderlin? Instead.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
That's the thing with United as well. We've signed some real garbage, honestly. Oh, we could go for it for days, couldn't we? The garbage we've signed. I think I think you're seeing the difference now, aren't you, with Maguire, AWB. I like James. I don't care what anyone says. I like James. I know he's not world class. I think he's a great little squad player to have. He'll always come in and work hard. He looks like he's taking players on a little bit more now. I just think you need to work on his end product, which you can always work on when you're 23. That's something that you can work on.
I think it was that open goal, wasn't it? Was it?
Yeah, but I don't knock him for that. I've seen the greats of the
greats. No.
It was more some of his crossing decisions yesterday. Like sometimes he'll cut it back when he shouldn't be, or he'll just think it in, not really have a look. I want him to look up more and put a cross in someone's head. And when he did sort of look up, he put a perfect ball on Pogba's head. And funny enough, Pogba was unlucky there. Should have scored, but listen, still unlucky. I think he just got under it a bit. But the funny enough is, if Pogba doesn't touch this ball, it lands to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw's perfectly behind him with no one in sight. So it was a really, really good cross. Like I said, your crossing you can work on. You can train every day. David Beckham used to. I'm not saying Daniel James is going to be David Beckham. No one's going to be David Beckham, but it's something you can work on. So yeah, I'm happy with that signing. Bruno Fernandes has come in, and don't get me wrong, there's things that agitate me about his game, but there's other things that you absolutely love, and you know he's going to keep going for 90 plus minutes.
Do you like
And
his passion? Like, even if he doesn't always do well, do you like him like talking to other
yeah,
players? And
no, yeah, yes and no. I think he's a bit over the top, and I think United fans have bigged that up so much. And don't get me wrong, listen, these players see the
playing
social
up to
media,
the cameras a
so
little bit.
yeah, he does it so much more. And I saw him yesterday. He kept arguing with Simon Kjær. When I think it was Pogba that was down, it's just like he didn't need to do it. He knows what he's doing. I saw him. I saw him the game before against West Ham. He ran all the way down the left, ran all the way across, and ran all the way down to the right. As soon as he got to the player, he stops and lets them sort of make their pass. Wasn't really bothered. They just went past him. That for me is perfect for the cameras. There's people at home that just love that and they're cheering you for running all that way. You listen. You can listen when you're loved the way he is at the moment, because everything is about stats nowadays, let's be honest. And when you're loved the way he is, if you work on that as well, you'll get huge contract renewals. You'll be loved even when you have shit games. I didn't see no one criticise him yesterday, and he was terrible. Probably the worst player on the pitch. I don't care what anyone tells me. He was probably the worst player on the pitch. But he's been good. He's been really good. You know, you can always get a goal with him on the pitch, which is good. And there's been times where him and Rashford have really pulled us through when we've needed them to. So that's been a good signing. Bruno's been a great signing for the money we got for like 49 million in this day and age. That's a bargain. And then who else? In the summer, I don't believe this summer was always they were his signings. I don't care what anyone tells me.
No way.
No,
we all know who he wanted, right?
Yeah. So, and had we got Sancho, the player he wanted, that would have been another good signing. So it just shows you that things are being done better than they were done.
Are you happy with this? The footballing director coming in, Fletcher? Do you think this is something that the club have always wanted? You know what I mean? Because we seem to be like there's no middleman in between, like the board and the manager, and maybe that's a good thing for the club.
Yeah, John and Darren have come in, and what I liked about that was I believe it's two people that obviously John was already there, Darren was working behind the scenes as well. I think for me that there's going to be two people that are going to work closely with Ole, rather than bring someone in who has their own ideas and their own philosophy. And you saw that at Chelsea. It spent 250 million.
Yeah.
Half of those players can't get in the team now. Half of those players don't look good enough. And apparently that wasn't any of the players, other than Chilwell, none of the players that Lampard wanted. And that's because you now have a DOF that will choose the players they want. Look at Arsenal. They have a DOF. Someone told me somewhere they have 3. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. And the signings they make are utter dog shit. Utter dog shit, honestly. All that craze about Partey, he's shit. They're not shit, but he's not. They make it sound like he's the new Patrick Vieira, and he's not. Atletico Madrid, you know when a team ain't missing you much. Atletico Madrid are top, so they're not missing him that much.
Yeah.
So it hasn't been that much of a loss in their midfield. And look at that, Ceballos. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are these signings Arsenal make? So for me, for me, you can't just bring a DOF in and think he's going to sort everything out. The DOF might not have a clue, just because this person has played football. Someone like Rio Ferdinand. When I heard Rio Ferdinand wanted the job, if we had done that, I would have probably slowly started to lose my love for football and been less passionate about it. If we brought Rio Ferdinand, he's absolutely clueless. Rio Ferdinand is absolutely clueless. This is a guy who left football instead of going into management. He tried to become a boxer, got rejected there, and now comes on TV with his big. And have you always noticed his beard's always sparkling and shiny? Like,
I think he's been watching too much Kimbo Slice clips, mate.
Yeah, isn't he?
He could do anything.
And he comes on and he just talks absolute shit 99% of the time. And that's not someone I would have wanted as a DOF, honestly, at all. So yeah, I'm happy with it. For me, a DOF has to be someone that not many people know, don't really know much about. and he can do his business quietly behind the scenes. You don't want someone like Rio or someone like Evra who likes the limelight. They want to be. The spotlight would have had to been around them now, and they would have wanted things their way, so they could come out and say, "Yeah, eventually say I signed that player if it works out." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm definitely happy with Darren and John, 100%. It's to me, it's all down to them helping Ole get the players he wants. If you want to play a manager's way, it has to be his signing. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So do you, just to wrap it up as well, Pundit, do you think this has to be the summer that the board backs Ole with the players that he wants? And because, like you said, last summer they weren't his players. What happens if they don't back him this summer and he's frustrated again? Do you think?
I'll be honest with you, this isn't the only summer. Last summer was the summer they should have backed him, and they didn't. So they've already left it. This and they left themselves short there. And if it happens again this summer, I'll probably come off of social media. I'll come off of Twitter, I reckon, and possibly Instagram, because I won't want to hear it anymore. And I won't want to hear all the people talking about Ole should get sacked when results go against us, because I will know what direction we're going in as a club if we don't back him this summer. And I genuinely mean that. Unless Ole comes out and he's being genuine, or I could speak to Ole and hand on heart, he signs a load of players that we're not impressed with, but it's players he wanted for the way he wants to play. Fair enough. But if you could tell it's not he hasn't been back like he wasn't this summer, then you probably won't see me on Twitter on that anymore, because I won't want to argue with people, and I'll just know that I'll have to give it a few years until I come back on, maybe. Not because I'm a glory hunter, but just because you can't bother to argue with people and see all the negativity every day when you know at the end of the day that the issue lies with the board and the owners. The issue won't lie with the manager. It won't be the players, because there's certain players there aren't good enough. They should be getting replaced. So I can't even blame them. It will solely be on the owners and the board. That's my honest opinion, Matt. I'm sure you agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been the problem, I think, for many years. You listen to what Van Gaal said, like, you don't want your third choice, your fourth choice. You want your first choice. Like, I think even David Moyes had that problem. He said that he never got the choices that he wanted. Same with even Mourinho. I'm not a fan of Mourinho anyway, and the way he manages teams. But it's been said by a few people, and if Ole's saying similar things, then surely there is something wrong with the board backing.
I'll tell you what it is. I don't even blame, and I might get stick for this, I don't even blame Woodward. I actually don't.
Glazers?
And you're probably, I don't know if you're shocked to hear me say that, but I don't actually blame Woodward. I did for a little while, couple of months ago, I was a bit pissed off. I think it's when we got knocked off the top spot. And I knew, I knew it wasn't Ole's fault. I knew it was more the lack of players and squad, whatever. But I don't blame Woodward in the sense of, if you're Woodward and I'm the Glazers, and I'm telling you, listen, don't worry about anything else. You're doing a great job. You're doing a great job. You're going to carry on doing your job, mate. At the end of the day, you've been put there to do a job. Okay? And that's to steer Man United in the right direction. Now, if your owners are telling you you're making the football clubs now are a business. So you're making the business a load of money. And I'm the owner, and I'm telling you you're doing a great job. Don't worry about anything else. You carry on doing things the way you're doing it. You're going to carry on doing things the way you're doing it. I'm sorry. You're not going to turn around and go, oh, no, I don't think I am doing things the right way. Who's going to say that? Like, when you was at work today, if your boss came over to you and went, mate, Matt, you've done a really good job today, you're not going to turn around and go, actually, I don't think I have. You're not. No, there you go. You're not.
I'd probably lose my job just for that. Like, you know what? Then off you go.
What? So sorry, you're just not gonna. And he was put there. He was put there by the owners, and he's got no footballing knowledge. So we should expect this was going to go on for a very long time.
Because he made the deals, didn't he? He made the deals the sponsorship deals back in the day.
And listen, he's tried to rectify it in getting rid of Moyes and bringing in LVG. That was one of the favourites. Everyone wanted LVG to come in. And then he tried rectifying it after LVG with Jose Mourinho. There's nobody on this planet that didn't want Jose Mourinho in. At the time, a serial winner. There's no one that didn't want Jose Mourinho in. And he came in. And then look what happened. It didn't work there. So, yes, Woodward hasn't done things right, but I can't blame him. I have to blame the owners. I'm sorry, at the end of the day. Because if things ain't going right, they're the ones that have the power to make heads roll. At the end of the day, while Woodward's still employed, he's still going to keep coming in and trying to do things the best way he knows. He's not a football person. So he's doing things the best way he knows. Where the Glazers can make a difference because they can say, mate, you either have to employ this, this, and this, because clearly the football side of things ain't working. We don't blame you. You're doing a good job on the other side. It's not your fault, but at the end of the day, you don't know that department. Or you fire the person and bring somebody in who does know that role and does know that job. And the Glazers are not interested in that because at the end of the day, Woodward makes money.
And would you say that they're using the money that they make from Man United to help with Tampa Bay and buying players like Brady? Do you know what I mean? What would you say about that?
No, Tampa Bay went for a very shit period under the Glazers. They've had them for a long time. They haven't just. This is where when I read it, I didn't really get involved in it. So I read it. I just think to myself, like, people, please sit and read up and educate yourself a little bit. Like, people need to educate themselves. They haven't just bought the Tampa Bays a year ago. They've made them. They've had them for a long time.
Yeah,
a very, very long time. Tampa Bays were doing nothing when we were doing the Champions League. So a lot of people at Tampa Bay could have thought, oh, they're putting all their efforts into United. So no, Tampa Bay's time has just come round and they've done all right. I think the Glazers buy things. They probably love the NFL.
Yeah.
I can't see how they're football lovers. And they've bought Manchester United because it's a business.
Yeah.
Like any good business person would.
Yeah.
And that's where it lies. And when you're worth that much money, I would like there to be, now that we're on the stock market now, I would like there to be loads of owners and not just one owner of Manchester United. If I'm totally honest with you, I'd like it to be where there's a lot of owners and a lot of shareholders. So things have to be done properly. Maybe people voted, like a bit like how they do in Spain. You get voted in.
Yeah, like Barcelona have that, don't they?
You get voted in rather than these few guys that probably don't care about football that are from America, that are rich and just nicking money, and they make every decision they want. I'm sorry, not for me, Matt. Could you imagine if we had like 10 owners, but the shares were split up? The company will be run very different. Because that's what we are. We are a company now. We're a business. The business will be run different.
What do you think the score will be though, Pundit? What do you think? What do you think it'll be?
With Leicester 2-1. I don't think it's going to be an easy game. I really don't. I think we're going to win 2-1. I hope we win 2-1.
I hope so too. Do you know what I mean? But you think Leicester are going to be up for it?
Yeah, I do. This is a cup game for them as well. And the big game for them and for us, whoever gets through this leg, will definitely be the Man City. That's the big game. And Leicester know they beat Man City this season 5-2. And we know what we just done to City. We haven't lost to City in the league this season. So we know we can fancy our chances as well. So, yeah, I can't see how they're not going to be up for beating Manchester United in the quarterfinal, getting through to a semi. And the difference with Leicester is they didn't play a game midweek. They're fresh. They're very, very fresh. And that can either play a big part at the beginning of the game, the first 20, 25 minutes, or it can play a big part after the 60th minute on who's up for it more because of fatigue. And so, yeah, I think it's going to be a really hard-fought game, but I'd love to nick this one as well. Even if we nick it late on, like we did against Wolves in the league, like in the 93rd minute, I don't mind that. Nick it and then go into the international break, knowing that we're in the quarterfinals in one, we're in the semi-finals in the other, and we're still second. We can go back and we can come back from the international break and really try to push on.
Yeah, I think so too, mate. And like you say, we're in 2 cups, we're in 2 quarterfinals, and this can only be a good thing as well. Sorry, I got my mind distracted, mate, because someone's asking me to apologise for something I didn't do wrong. So I just wanted to sort of clear them out of the air.
What's that in the comments?
Yeah, basically, they're saying
best way to do that, mate, is to block them.
Yeah, agreed.
On Twitter, I don't block people. I just mute them now. I never see anything they have to say again. It's absolutely beautiful. It's the best.
It's weird how they'll come on and they'll want me to do it like live on air, but then like on social media, but like personally, they won't even get in touch and like try and understand the situation. They just jumped on a bandwagon, mate, and it's just.
Mate, who cares? Do you know any of them personally?
No, I don't.
Any of them family to you, or you went to school with, or anything like that?
Nothing.
Who gives a shit, mate? Honestly, who gives a shit? If you didn't do anything wrong, and you didn't say anything wrong, and you haven't hurt anybody, who cares, mate? Honestly, who gives a shit? Most of these people, you ain't gonna see them again. A lot of people go through life trying to please everyone, and they die, and no one turns up to their funeral. Like, what was you pleasing everyone for?
Yeah, there's no point in wasting my energy on people that don't want to understand.
Mate, listen, I come on here. I know you're not a bad guy. When I heard everyone talking about it, I didn't even listen. Look, most of those people I don't like anyway. I say it straight. I don't think there's one person from the terrace I like. They're all a bunch of wankers. And anyone's got anything to say to me, you know my Twitter. Come and say it. I couldn't give a fuck. Honestly, I'm not scared. Yeah, come and say it to me. And better still, you don't have to come on there and say it to me. We will see each other at football matches. We will. Because I still go to Old Trafford. Believe me. When this is done, I'm still going to Old Trafford. It's the first thing I'm doing is going to Manchester. So, yeah, mate, honestly, don't take it to heart, Matt. The best thing to do on Twitter is mute. They can still comment and they haven't got a clue that you're not seeing it. Do you know how many comments under my posts that I don't even see? It doesn't even come up. It doesn't even come up. Imagine that. And these clowns are still commenting. I only know because sometimes my brother will send me one of them, like laughing, like, look at this clown. He still thinks you're reading his comments. Do you know what I mean? Like, but I've muted 203 people. I think it's 203. I sent the screenshot to Alexi because Alexi's a really good guy I was talking to you about before. So I sent the screenshot to him and said to him, this is how many people I've muted. Like, they'll ramble on and they'll argue with other people in my comments, like on my posts. I won't see it. And I don't when I go on Twitter now, I hardly see any negativity. Because I've muted so many people and I've unfollowed so many people that I barely see negativity now. And I've said it straight. I said it recently. I will be unfollowing people that are just negative for no reason. You get unfollowed.
You get some good people that actually want to understand a situation instead of like jumping on a bandwagon. That is like you say, like you and other people like who don't just point a finger and trying to deal with a situation. If it is like something that happened, you got to talk to people and try and create awareness, not not shut people down. And that's what's happened to me. And it's been crazy, mate. My life for the last couple of months, man. Seriously, the abuse, the hate, the bullying, the threats is just gone too far for me. And I'm just like, you know what? Now, if you never wanted to understand in the first place, just get out of my life. Just go.
Yeah. Because that's what I mean. You're trying to prove yourself to people that ain't interested. Yeah. I put it down to this. It's a funny analogy, but I put it down to this. It's like a Messi fan arguing with a Ronaldo fan. I mean, diehard fans. A diehard Messi fan arguing with a diehard Ronaldo fan. You can't win. There's arguments for both things. And it's that simple. Ronaldo might have more trophies than that. Messi has more goals than that. Ronaldo might have done better there. Messi's done better there. Do you know what I mean? You can't win. So that's the same with you. You're not going to be able to win. They've got their mindset on one thing. They don't like you. So why are you trying to prove yourself to somebody or to people that don't like you? Does it make sense?
Agreed. Mate, should we wrap it up there, yeah?
Yep. Sounds good.
Got things to do and we got our Friday night, you know what I mean? You got your family to dine with, you know what I mean? And do your Friday night.
Yep. Huh? My kids are waiting for me, so yeah.
All right, yeah, cool. Mate, do you want to shout out your social medias, let everyone know where you are? And so much as well for your support.
I'm on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook as Unofficial Pundit, and on Twitter I'm Unofficial Pund1. Yeah, people, you can catch me. I'm probably one of the most controversial people. I say what I want and I don't care. And I'll abuse any player if I think they should be abused. And that could be Pogba, Bruno. Rashford won't get it from me. Rashford hardly ever gets it from me. That's just me. And I love Martial, and I've always backed Shaw. I've got videos and tweets from 2 years ago where I was backing Shaw. So we're winning.
Brilliant. Thank you, Rowan, as well, for coming in, and everybody else, Bargav, Daniel, Talk, MU, Charlie, and the rest of you. And everybody have a fantastic Friday, and we'll speak to you soon. Take care.